I am so glad that you decided to tap into this podcast and take some time out of your busy life to be able to take a few minutes and just focus in on intentions. And what do I mean by intentions? Is I'm taping this as my intention for 2013 on New Year's Day, and my intention was to create this podcast. And also, I keep on hearing, of course, on New Year's about New Year's resolutions and how people try to create their goals. And I use the word try because trying to me is halfway doing it and halfway achieving it. And I don't want to put a negative spin on New Year's resolutions because it's great to start out your new year with new positive goals and to make a list of what you're going to do throughout the year and let go of the last year so there's a total newing. In fact, I even did some research on who came up with New Year's resolutions. Well, it actually comes all the way back from the Roman and Greek times when they used to pray to their gods. And they used to pray for prosperity and for a new beginning, a new life, a newness. And they asked the gods to provide that for them. Well, nowadays we actually carry that thought all the way to 2013, to today. I'm talking about it because there's a lot that's put on to those goals. I mean, the first thing, what do you think about when someone says, I'm going to make a New Year's resolution? You may think about someone joining a gym or starting a new diet or wanting to work less at work or maybe working more at work, depending upon what the situation is. And how many times do we see those visions of these goals kind of crash, or people go, well, I'm going to make a New Year's resolution, but it probably won't follow through. They've already doomed that. Or thinking, I'm not going to make another New Year's resolution because it doesn't help anyway. Well, kind of a negative spin on that. So instead of creating all this intensity, because working for your goal is intense. And if you're working to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 goals for your year, that's a lot of work. So I thought, well, why not take a step back and think about intentions. What's your intention for the day? What's your intention for the week? What's your intention for the month? What is your intention? What's your intention for today? For New Year's Day 2013. What are you going to complete today? Or what's your intention that you'll carry through for the rest of the month? Or until you achieve that goal that's on your list. So if you look at your New Year's resolution list and you write down, let's say about a couple or 3 of them, pick 1 out of 3 and let's just focus in on that intention. And what I believe what intention is actually an action to a reaction, meaning the action of an intention is when you set forth that intention, when you actually write it down on your paper or you log it in on your iPad, on your calendar, whatever that intention is, you've put it out there. And then the reaction of that intention is to just kind of let that go, work towards that intention, but work with ease and see how the reaction comes back. I usually like to use this theory about Isaac Newton that sat under an apple tree 200 years ago and all of a sudden an apple bopped on his head. Well, that's actually an action. But for Isaac Newton, it was universal law. What is universal law? It's the action to a reaction that's set out there. So with that apple dropping to the ground, we know that that's actually gravity that bopped that apple on his head. But it's a force that comes from the center of the earth that dragged that apple down. It didn't just snap off of that twig and started floating up in the sky. No, it hit Isaac Newton right on the head. Also gave him insight on what that was all about and why. And once again, that's an action to a reaction. That's like when you throw a ball up in the air. You throw that ball up, that's the action. And the ball will fall back down to the ground. That's the reaction. Depending upon how high you throw that ball up or how fast you throw that ball up, The faster it'll come back down, or the slower it'll come back down, but it will come back because that's the reaction. So follow me with these podcasts, and let's take a journey into what your New Year's resolution is all about and how we can follow those, that we can do them just one at a time, be it per day, be it per week or month, but to follow that and follow it with ease and let it come with ease. And I'll be explaining more about intentions and getting more into it, and we'll be diving into that. We'll also be diving into circumstances, what circumstances are all about. And it's the circumstances that happen from actually the thoughts that's in your head. Because there's an action, which is the thoughts, and the reaction is the circumstance, be it negative or be it positive. So once again, please follow me. I'm a coach and a life coach and a business coach with Life Creations Education. I'm associated with them. They're based out of California, and I'm actually here on Maui, Hawaii, talking to you an ocean away. Or I could be right next door, depending upon where you're viewing this podcast. So I invite you to join me, and let's create that ripple effect that can go across an ocean or right next door, and we can really work on what your intentions is for the new year. I also invite you to actually, right below this podcast, there are a couple of links, and there's also a suggestion box on my blog. And I invite you to post your comment, and from there, we can definitely have some fun with this. You creating the action of posting something on my blog, or even my Facebook. There's a link, Marc Tolliver, LCE, and that's a like page on Facebook if you're on Facebook right now. Or there's also a link for my inbox, my email, and I will personally write you back. Let me know what your intention is. Because once you set your intention with action, then you can also get the reaction from me, or you might get it from someone else that happens to be viewing Facebook or viewing my blog, and they may relate to that intention. They may even help you out with that intention or have a suggestion, or it's relating to them. That's the reaction. So with aloha, and also Happy New Year, and I have well intentions for you for the new year coming of 2013, and let's make this happen. Let's create a chat within my blog or on Facebook. Let's create that action to get that reaction. That's what I'm looking for today, is to see that reaction from the action that I'm doing today. So aloha, and follow me with the next few series that I'll be doing once a week. I may even assign homework assignments to follow to the next week. And these podcasts will only be 3 minutes to 10 minutes. Some may be just to check in, and others will talk about circumstances. We'll talk about other things that I brought up, and we'll have fun with this. So aloha for 2013.